Hello again, I'm still Manu, and this is once more a video in which I'll be translating ancient symbolic for you into some guidelines useful for your everyday life. Today I will be presenting you with something you might consider obvious, which you might take very much for granted: your senses. Why the senses? Because these are a great aid in practicing being more in body. I've emphasized in other videos of mine the importance of being in body, of being present in your physical form. It is the road to freedom, as some put it. And as explained in other videos, it is of the utmost importance for you and your life to achieve good balance in it, including between your mind and your body. Compensating for all the mind focus, the in-head, by also being in body, firmly grounded in your physical form. In order for you to achieve balance in your life, an essential condition for that great and wonderful life in a great and wonderful world, you really need to be in body and listen to the signals the body you generates. Mens sana in corpore sano, as the statement in Latin goes, a healthy mind in a healthy body. So let's talk about these capacities of your bodily system. All in all, 7 of them for this video. 7 senses, you might ask? Yes, 7 senses. One of my basic tenets about life, of life, is that there are 2 things in it which will never ever lie to you. And these are your life, as in its circumstances, very much including the people involved in those, and your body. This video concerns the body part. For the life part, watch my video on the dragon and the pearl. Now, for many of us, it is at present a challenge being in body, with so much going on in our heads. Even more so nowadays, with all the technology around, staring into a phone, even more in head instead of in body. How is that for you at present? Your interaction in life don't just happen in thought, however. On the contrary, the very real ones happen in being, and being present in the place and in the moment where you are right then and there, or better, right here and now. And this physical form of ours, it is like a database. It carries a great deal of information gathered from all your experiences in your life. It has registered everything you have ever felt in your life, everything you have ever sensed, even as of and from the time you spent in your mother's womb. You might not be conscious of it. You might even think you have released it or let go of it, that it doesn't affect you, that you no longer carry any of this. But in many cases, your experiences, certainly ones which were more traumatic, and that's very personal to each and every one of us, well, these have been stored, saved if you want, into your body, somewhere in your physical form. And for a lot of this registering of experiences, your bodily form uses its senses, which are of course your senses. You are your body after all, it's not just a kind of possession. It is important to note that this bodily form, this physical form of ours, of yours, gives signals on how you are doing. The challenge then, repeating myself, is to understand these signals and learn again the language of our body, of your body. Now for the 7 senses. As in all my videos, I will link the messages to a certain spiritual religious symbol. What symbolic will I be using for this? What could possibly be a symbol for being in body and the importance of this? Well, a good number of years ago, somewhere in 2010 or maybe 2011, I came across an interesting analysis of the Eye of Horus, a well-known image from the time of the ancient Egyptians. I will analyze the eye symbol with you in this video. Of course, Horus has 2 eyes. You need the 2 to achieve balance in your life, but balance as such is not the subject of this video. In body is. And things you can do to help you with that, to practice it in your own time. And the senses, your senses, are very useful in practicing being in body. Now, the eye symbol has 6 parts to it, each one representing a sense of your bodily system. I will not link each one of these senses to one of our several primal chakras, even though there's a clear connection. For those interested, you can read up on that in my ebook, The Journey of Life, Part 2, available through inmeatrust.com. For now, I'm simply going to explain the senses using the symbol of Horus's eye. And I do hope that the information provided in this video will result in some extra appreciation for your physical form, for your body as a fantastic system that it is, truly a marvel of creation. So here goes, 7 messages from the Eye of Horus on our bodily system's 7 senses. The first sense, represented by the sticky part underneath the eye, touching, the sense of touch. I do hope, and if so, luckily for you, you do not know what it feels like not being able to sense something to touch. An acquaintance of mine who goes to the same gym as I do, well, he lost all sense of touch in his fingers for a certain period of time. It wasn't that he couldn't function anymore working in construction, but it was really difficult to be without that sense of touch. You cannot feel what anything feels like. Grabbing change in your pocket, shaking someone's hand, taking a glass or a cup to your mouth to drink, holding a spoon or a fork, washing yourself, and without touch, a massage, hugging your father, your mother, or your children. So many things we do in life in which touch is so absolutely essential to how we experience life. You don't know what you've got till it's gone. So practice being in body, first and foremost, by using your sense of touch. Experience your sense of touch to the fullest, very consciously and very conscious of it. Touching is something we can do with every part of our body, making it a prime sense for practicing being in the body, for firmly grounding yourself in the bodily you. For example, be totally aware on the points of your body touching the chair you're sitting on, or where your feet touch the floor, or the shoes you have on. Describe that out loud, where you sense the touching, in with your physical form and in your physical form. Consciously touch the apple or whatever fruit you like you're going to eat. Whilst washing it before you're going to eat it, feel the water and the cloth or paper you use to dry it. Experience your sense of touch with your partner. Touch him or her and have him or her touch you. Absorb all the sensations. Experience it with your full attention. Put your awareness in the spots where you sense touching and being touched. Good checks for how well you can be in body as yet are these. Foot massage devices. I must admit, the first time I used these spiky ones, I was pretty hesitant, almost frightened it felt like. But as you get more and more in body, you can use these with your full attention in your feet and not cringe. But to start, you might want to start with these. Your sense of touch is truly a fundamental capacity of your bodily form to register what you experience. And your body has registered all, quote, touches over the course of your life. Even when the touching was not as pleasant as in the experience exercise I just described. It was what it was, but always know the body you remembers. The second sense, represented by the sprouting part underneath the eye. Tasting, the sense of taste. For me, a big fan of great food and fine cuisine, tasting is an important part of my life. Again, you don't know what you've got till it's gone. Ask someone who had COVID-19 and lost their sense of taste, what it feels like not being able to taste anything. A sip of water, a pint of beer, a glass of wine, a Coke, champagne, a piece of chocolate. Imagine not tasting any difference. A curry meal, a plate of sushi, a steak, Brussels sprouts. Imagine not tasting any difference. Not tasting anything at all. So also practice being in the body by using your sense of taste. When you eat that apple or whatever fruit or food item you picked, truly and consciously taste it. All those taste buds of yours registering what you are experiencing whilst chewing your food. All those receptors in your tongue firing off. Amazing when you stop and think about it. So, pour a glass of your favorite beverage, eat a piece of your favorite food, and do so with all your attention and tasting. Don't take this for granted. It is truly a fantastic aspect of your body, providing a fraction of all the signals generated by your bodily self. Now getting to the three parts of the central piece of the symbol, of the eye symbol, starting with the one pointing to the nose, the third sense, smelling, the sense of smell. For the sense of smell, again, ask someone who had COVID-19 and lost their sense of smell what it feels like not being able to smell anything. A nice or not so nice perfume, the smell of a great meal, the scent of nature, the stench of, well, I'll let you choose whatever it is you don't like smelling. And to check if a food item is okay, if it is off or not, we tend to smell it, don't we? Well, I do. It's like we instinctively know when the smell isn't right. If the scent indicates we shouldn't eat it, or we can. So a further practice for being in body, this time using your sense of smell. Not the food this time, but a perfume, a soap, a drink, a food item, whatever it is you like to experience your sense of smell with. Put something you love to smell under your nose and experience with all your focus the scent of whatever that is. And as you smell that, consider all that is going on inside your bodily system. The detection of odors, odorants by so-called olfactory, meaning related to your sense of smell, receptors in your nose. These receptors send their signals to your brain. Marvelous, wouldn't you say? As a side note, the sense of taste and smell are said to be linked in a certain way, but I will not go deeper into this here. I'll keep it at yet another good practice for being in body. When you eat with all your attention, including on the food's smell next to its taste. Then there is a part of the eye pointing to the ear, obviously referring then to the fourth sense, hearing, the auditory sense. This sense, the faculty to register sounds, you might also take for granted. People who were born deaf or became deaf will most likely beg to differ as to its fantasticality. The ability to capture the sound of birds singing, of a river flowing, of waves crashing on a beach, of a music piece by Mozart, or a poppy tune, or whatever type of music tickles your fancy. The voices of your partner, your parents, your children if you have any. The sound of the wind blowing through the trees, and even the sound of silence. Imagine what your life would be like without that capacity to perceive, to experience all of this. The sounds, these vibrations in the air causing your auditory system's receptors to vibrate and send signals to your brain. So another good practice for being in your body is put on a piece of music that you like and listen to it truly and consciously. Go outside and listen to the birds singing. Or if you live in a busy town, the sounds might more be noises, but that is what it is. Just look for a sound that makes you appreciate what you hear and the fact that you hear. That you can register all these sound waves and what you experience through these. Next, the central part of the central piece of the symbol, the iris of the eye. I don't think it will take you a lot to guess that this then refers to the fifth sense, seeing, the sense of sight. The faculty to observe all these wonders of life, the forests, the seas, the mountains, the valleys, all the great architectural achievements of old and new, all animals, great and small, other human beings, the myriad of fruits of nature's ingenuity and of human ingenuity. Close your eyes and keep them shut. Imagine that that is all you get to see in your life, ever. That's the experience of someone who is blind. But you, who have that sense, when you consider this, be grateful for that sense of sight. Appreciate it fully and truly. It allows for another good practice for being in body. Look at your body. At your hands and your feet, your arms and your legs, your whole bodily form. Just looking at your bodily self. No judgment, simply looking and appreciating. And when you go out walking, observe the trees, the leaves on those trees, or the buildings that you see. and be grateful for that faculty of seeing what you can see, that you can see. Mixing a quote by Hendrik David Thoreau and Rumi into one. It's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see and how you see. Then we move to the final part of the eye symbol, at least the part that is left in the drawing, the eyebrow. This refers to something many will not have considered a sense, but is a sense nonetheless. Knowing, the sense of thought. It is the faculty that allows you to collect and register information on a mental mind level. It's like your inner radio station that can tune into any frequency that can be registered by and in your mind. It's what some mean when they say that you are not your mind. Indeed, no, it's just another sense. All that mind activity is just an expression of the sense of knowing, of the faculty to capture the subtlest of vibrations, the vibration of information contained in the subtlest of waves. As you move up the senses from touch to thought, the nature of the waves of the vibrations your bodily form captures, registers, gets ever more subtle. Just like you sense or register a touch, the most coarse, a taste, a smell, molecules in the air, a sound, vibrations of the air, a sight, a type of energy waves, you register information in the form of a thought. It is your sense of consciousness with a capital C. The sense organ for this has as yet not really been located, but of course the first suspect would be your cerebral brain. But I will not go deeper into this in this video. It's about the sense, the faculty to be able to know, to register information, literally information, from whatever medium thoughts arise from. That's what a thought really is. Information contained in types of waves. A thought really is just a thought if you let it. You will probably not find it difficult to practice this sense, as most of our daily lives are filled with practicing this sense of ours. But the exercise for this sense is slightly different from your everyday thinking, i.e., simply observe the thoughts as they come. Consciously observe all the thoughts popping into your head, noting them, and being grateful for the fact that you can consciously note them. Always remember, you are not your thoughts. A thought is more or less equal to a touch, a taste, a smell, a sound you perceive. If you don't hold on to them and you let them flow through you like you do a food item's taste, or a smell or a sound, they come and they go. As Eckhart Tolle put it, you are not the voice in your head, but the one who is aware of it. And you're even more than that, but that's not for this video. Now we had 6 senses. Didn't I say 7 at the start of this video? Indeed. There are other categorizations of our senses, or attempts at this. And I also read, for example, another 7 senses analysis by Helena Petrovna Blavatsky in her The Secret Doctrine. I'll stick to my own. Making the 7th sense, well, sensing. What's the difference, you may ask? With sensing, the sense of sensing is not about touching, it's not about tasting, it's not about smelling, it's not about hearing, it's not about seeing, and it's not about knowing. It is about the source of what we mean when we say things like bad vibes. The vibes here aren't right. Or this place has great vibes. My whole being is jumping for joy. In sensing, we know, we understand, and yet we cannot fully say why. Not rationally why. Not from a clear sensation as we get in touching, tasting, smelling, etc. Each one of the other senses has a more or less clear sense organ. The receptors in our skin, in our tongue, in our nose, our ears, our eyes, our cerebral brain. What now would be the organ for this sensing sense? Some might state it is the gut brain. Others might indicate it as intuition, which is also somehow captured by our cerebral brain. Our intuitive knowing, which doesn't come from conscious thinking. For me, I like to believe it's our heart, your heart. which is far more than the pump of and in our bodily system, as the field of medicine currently views it. Just pumping around our blood, and that's pretty much it. If you want to increase your appreciation of that fantastic organ that is your heart, you might want to get acquainted with the findings of the Institute of HeartMath. Just a suggestion. In any case, as Antoine de Saint-Exupéry put it in his The Little Prince, we only see clearly with our heart. What is essential is invisible to the eyes. For practicing this sense, I'd like to refer to the exercise I described in my video on the meaning behind the logo I use for In Me I Trust, the exercise of heart-centeredness. I will not go into synesthesia here. That's considered a condition where several senses seem to get mingled, in that people who have synesthesia can smell colors or taste sounds. For me, that's just another indication that your whole bodily system generates a dearth of information from all kinds of sensations registered by your senses, which make you experience your life as you do. Your whole body system is an intricate mechanism designed for capturing and sending information. A fantastic creation to consciously experience a great deal on this plane of existence. You are information captured in form. Information. For you to be truly aware of that, it is really critical that you be fully embodied consciousness in action. So consciously experience, practice, exercise each one of your senses. As stated at the start of this video, the path of freedom lies in being totally present in your body. You may ask, freedom of what? But that's for another video. Hello again. I hope you found this video interesting. You can watch all of my videos on my website, on my YouTube channel or BitChute channel. And if you would like a weekly dose of inspirational quotes accompanied by comments of mine, you can follow me on Instagram under InMeITrust_777 or on Facebook under InMeITrust. You can also check out one of my boards on Pinterest under, yet again, InMeITrust. Or you can visit the In Me I Trust webshop. And if you would like to make sense of what is happening in your life, give meaning to it, you will find my contact details on my website. Links are in the captions below. And remember, life is what you make of it.